Welcome back. Like we always say, football is a beautiful thing. Football is magical, and that's why we love it. Now, thanks to Mamelodi Sundowns, their good run in the CAF Champions League has led to where the PSL has had to adjust its fixture. Now, Sundowns played on Friday. Then we saw them play again on very well contested game against Morocco Swallows. Lufuno, so VAR is back alive in South Africa.
There's never VAR in South Africa.
What do you mean there was never VAR? Where people were talking there? Who were they talking to?
The pictures are clear. Jeli Chabade, the referee, went to the assistant. They had a discussion about what happened or what transpired, and they all agreed it's a goal.
Mara Jeli then looked, Cox, not this one, I don't understand Lufun. If the two of us are talking, and then we both tend to look at Lufun, it therefore gives the impression that we are talking to who?
The perception that it creates is that we're talking to Lufuno. So I hear what you're saying, and it's a very dangerous assumption to make, but people are going to make that assumption, especially the people that are at the stadium. We look at that decision and how it came about. You could say maybe Jeli was trying to hear what was being said properly, but the mere fact that you're next to a person in this proximity and you turn and you look away...
No, Cox. Lufuno, hear me out here, gents.
Yeah.
Now, assistant ref says offside. That's a flag. Jeli says goal. That's the ref. So the debate is between the two of them.
Correct.
And then in between the two of them, the final say goes with the referee.
The referee,
yeah.
Okay? Then while you two are debating as the assistant ref and the ref, you then both turn to ask somebody else, who are you asking? Because the decision should have been between the two of them.
There is an assumption that they were asking someone, because the assistant referee was still looking inside the field. However, if you look at that picture that you see everywhere in the social media, Jeli Chabani on the side, the earpiece on the side, it's on the other side of the field, whereas that ear that has no earpiece was listening to the assistant so that he can hear him properly. It's in the stadium.
Oh, Lufuno now is a hearing aid specialist.
No, but I'm showing
Lufuno, we get you. The reason Sundowns had to play on Monday and it was a 2-2 draw was because over the weekend they've got a Champions League game. And it's against Esperance.
Yeah.
Esperance are now coming back into the Champions League, and Esperance have gone unbeaten in 15 matches across all competition with 10 wins. Sundowns bring their 45-match unbeaten streak to this. There's VAR here, the real one. No need to worry about that.
When we don't know about the VAR, the younger game,
no, man,
the VAR.
You will be suspended. You will be suspended too. You will be suspended. Now coming to the younger, now sitting in a younger game. Now coming to the Esperance, two teams that are traditional powerhouses. Though Esperance hasn't been doing well, they're a powerhouse. Sundowns now had to travel after the game. They arrived there to be able to acclimatize and be able to get there. Your thoughts on that game?
It's just to add on to that, it's a norm now for Sundowns to try and acclimatize as soon as possible. I think they've found out a cheat code to try and get results away from home. My thoughts on the game, you having two teams that haven't lost in a long time. I mean, you look at you look at Esperance, they're going at about 15. You're looking at Sundowns, and they're on an unbeaten run at home. So what you're then getting from these two teams, I'm also picking up the last 5 games I look at. You look at teams that are struggling to score. Both sides. You look at Esperance and you say, okay, last 5 games in all competition, what happens? You then find yourself your 2 goals, 3, and you're like, oh, okay, then what's happening now? Then there's a problem. As much as Sundowns has been struggling to score and been fluid and score as many goals as they would love to.
I mean, Coach Rulani says he wants 7 goals.
But he also wants 1,000 passes. So it's just a matter of priorities, So you look at it and you say, okay, there's something that they need to guard against. Yes, they don't score as often as they do, but you need to man mark and look at Rodriguez. Rodriguez has been the player that's been scoring goals for Esperance, and you're saying he scores these goals in the latter stages of the game because usually they put him in as a sub and as a super sub. So Esperance is more likely to come at Sundowns when they think that we're getting a draw away from home, we've wrapped it up, we are good, and you say, hey, hold up, here's this man that can come in and spoil the party. And we've seen that the Sundowns party can be spoiled. I mean, the mere fact that Tuks can get a goal like that, where set piece wise, they can.
Not just tags, Cox.
Yeah.
Just to go, Lufuno, just to add on to what Cox is saying. If you look at the Swallows goal, the first goal, we won't go to the fact that it was offside, but it was a set piece that. And you look against tags, it was a set piece that undid them. And if you look at how Sundowns exited in terms of last season without losing, it was a set piece. Yeah. And North Africans are very known for
100%. But you're spot on. That's how they play. So they will always find a way. If they can't, if how they play, if they've, their formations is not working, they are very, find it easy to adapt and try to use set piece. And Sundowns has been struggling with that. For me, I think the confidence of Sundowns is getting dented every game because, I mean, for Swallows to come back 2-0 down and equalize, it's an area of concern. Having Shalulile that is going really for so many games now without scoring, I mean, you could look at that game against Swallows. They should have wrapped it up. There was a time where they really gave him the ball just to tap it so that the confidence can come back. And really, he's also struggling. So currently, if you do a very good job on Ribeiro and you do a very good job on Allende, most of the job is done for Sundowns because Shalulile is not firing. But I think, Sundowns, you cannot really write them off. They've got the experience, they've got the know-how to play in Africa. They've been in that position before. And somehow they managed to master to play against the northern teams. And then you saw it when they start to play the Central and the East, they struggled a little bit. They were rattled a little bit. You can look at the game against Mazembe, you can look at the game against Yanga. These are not type of teams that they used to play most of the time.
Lufuno, and I hear that. But Cox, from a technical perspective, would you say the technical team of Mamelodi Sundowns has now matured? Because they play very different, even without the low blocks that they have. They have been playing very differently this season in terms of how they are compared to just wanting to play fluid football and nice football.
Yes, I remember last season I used to say they're naive. They just want to give it a go. They want to show off. They're playing the peacock football where I just want to show off my feathers and that's it. But they've realized that one can hurt you. We've seen what happens with Toby, that incident that happened in the Champions League where they could have wrapped up the game and closed shop a long time ago, but they opt to still go on and try and get more shots.
So Cox says, Peacock masiba. At its most beautiful. That's when it's at most vulnerable, says Coach Mango. So having said that, there's another game that's happening. Very big game. TP Mazembe is playing against Al Ahly. Promises to be a hamdinger because those are powerhouses of African football. Mara, when we come back, we must discuss what happens in the PSL because that's the best league in
the world.
Not just Africa. But the best league in the world. I grapes are